Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me Gravitas Plus.
Will do, sir.
So here's what all of this comes down to. Even in 2022, women face discrimination. Even today, women are not equal at work.
This is how the media tricks women, people, into thinking there is an unjustified gender pay gap. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. I actually like this news channel because most of the time they present the news in an honest and balanced way. This time they presented incomplete information to make their argument. Incomplete information is not necessarily incorrect information. It depends on the argument you want to make. We did the same thing in one of our recent videos. We presented some incomplete information and the comment section let us know about it. So we owe you guys a video to clear things up. Now, in the title we say the media tricks women because it's like a magician performing a trick, waving his left hand to distract you from what's going on with his right hand. Because the right hand holds the truth. So in this video, we're gonna expose that right hand. Now it's time for us to dive into this and do what we have to do. Because we men and we. We men and we.
Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. It's the 20th of March 2022. Earlier this month, we celebrated Women's Day. Everyone talked about breaking the bias. The idea was to highlight the need for gender equality, make a case for equal rights, equal respect, equal pay. You know, things that every woman wants.
Stop it right there. Did you hear that, fellas? She said things that every woman wants. Gender equality, equal rights, equal respect, and equal pay. And I call bullshit. Bullshit. Great example is the war that's going on between Russia and Ukraine. Women are allowed to leave the country and men are not. It's March 2022, right? If World War III breaks out, keep that same energy because equal rights also means equal fights. And we've seen it many times that women have no problem pulling the quote-unquote I am the woman card when things get tough. Let's continue.
Instead, here's what we got on Women's Day. Roses, chocolates and bath essentials. Even sale on kitchen appliances. Corporates distributed cookies, cupcakes and cups and conveniently covered up critical issues.
Real quick, Women's Day is an occasion to celebrate, and women love flowers, chocolates, gifts, presents, special attention, and they love it for a reason. I say this right now because we'll get back to this later. Stay focused.
And conveniently covered up critical issues. The gender pay gap, for example. The fact that even today, women are paid lesser than men. In America, for example, women are paid 80 cents for every dollar paid to men.
All right, here comes the hocus pocus.
How did we arrive at this number? Step number 1, add the annual salaries of all women who work full-time through the year. Step 2, find the median salary. Step 3, find the median salary of men and now see the difference.
Like I've said before, incomplete information isn't necessarily false information, depending on the argument you're trying to make. So if your argument is that there is a gender pay gap, then yes, this information is correct if you calculate it as presented on the screen. However, this is not the point that they're trying to make with their video. Like the title says, unjustified gender pay gap. You'll need some more data and statistics to prove that. Let's continue.
In 2020, the median salary of men working full-time in the US was over $61,000. For women, it was over $50,000. Women were earning 83% of what men were being paid. And this is the US, the global picture.
You see how she just paused for effect? Again.
Women were earning 83% of what men were being paid. And this is the US, the global picture.
This is that hocus pocus that I'm talking about. They're showing you the left hand. Women are earning 83% of what men were being paid. Pause for effect. Because this is ridiculous. How can this be? It's 2022. The magician uses a familiar strategy. Janice.
This manipulation strategy involving the use of the truth for lying is facilitated by the basic construct of the human brain. The brain is not a sponge that dispassionately absorbs all the information that comes its way. It is not an input-output system where each stimuli impinging on the sensory system is analyzed in detail before a final decision is taken. The human brain is an anticipation machine. It approaches every situation with a certain set of expectations.
This is why women eat this shit up, because this is what they want to hear. This is that feel-good Kool-Aid. Feminists know this like no other. That's why they give you flowers and chocolates, because you're not supposed to know the truth. You know why?
Why?
Because
You can't handle the truth!
The global picture looks worse. Women the world over are making 77 cents for every dollar earned by men. In other words, women are being paid 23% less than men. This is according to the UN Women.
once again, no details, superficial information. Superficial information means gender pay gap? Yes. Superficial information means gender pay gap. Injustice? No.
Gentle reminder, we are in the year 2022. What explains this pay gap? Even today, women are paid less for doing the same job as men. Even today, women are overrepresented in low-paying jobs. Even today, women are paying a penalty for pregnancy. They lose jobs or promotions because of pregnancy. Sounds awful? There's more.
This is pure gold. Sounds awful, right? That's exactly the point. But just because it sounds awful doesn't mean it's unjust. So if you're going by sounds and you think this is awful, let me change the tune a little.
Even today, women are paid less for doing the same job as men.
Women are paid less for the same job. Do they work the same amount of hours? Do they achieve the same results? I used to work in sales for a long time, and 9 out of 10 times, it was men that were the top sellers. Men would obliterate the competition, and they would earn the commissions, bonuses, promotions. The women just didn't have that killer instinct, and I had the same mentality. I just wanted my money and spent it.
Even today, women are overrepresented in low-paying jobs.
Are women qualified to do high-paying jobs? In what market are women looking for high-paying jobs? In the first video of our Harlem series, we talk about useless college degrees. And one of the big reasons these degrees are deemed useless is because it won't land you a job. The market is saturated, and coincidentally, it's women that graduate with these useless degrees.
Even today, women are paying a penalty for pregnancy. They lose jobs or promotions because of pregnancy.
Are you surprised? We're talking about equality, right? And this here is basically the end-all be-all when it comes to gender equality. Men and women are biologically different. Men cannot get pregnant. When a woman is highly pregnant, she cannot work. It's a bad idea. This means you have to pay her for being unproductive. You don't have to worry about that when you hire men. Check this out. Women more likely to give up work after having a baby, regardless of earnings, research finds. Study reveals more mothers than fathers leave even when they're the higher earner, prompting experts to warn of outdated female-focused policies. Janice.
The Polar 5,591 heterosexual couples in England, conducted by the Institute for Fiscal Studies, IFS, found that in 13% of relationships where women earned more than their partners before parenthood, the women left work after having a child. This compared to just 3% of similar relationships where the lower-paid male partner left work. The research also found that even when women who earned more than their partner before parenthood continued to work, on average they reduced their hours of paid work by 26%. In contrast, fathers faced little to no reduction in their paid hours regardless of who earned more before the child was born. Across the sample group, regardless of who was earning the most, in 38% of the relationships where both people worked, the woman was the one who sacrificed paid work after the birth of a child.
Again, the biological differences between men and women are ignored. We are not equal. That's why there is no equality. As you can see, these men have no problems with the mothers of their children staying at home or working less. And that's another reason why women are not promoted or lose jobs. You get pregnant, and after your kid is born, you start working less. It's not a good deal.
Studies show that for every child a woman has, she suffers a 5% wage penalty.
Pause for effect, but it's not unjust.
Female managers who are pregnant are perceived to be less committed to the job, less dependable, and more emotional. Even today, it is difficult for a woman to re-enter the workforce after giving birth. They're paying a motherhood penalty. Research shows that after giving birth, women are paid less than men with similar education or experience. They also earn less than women who do not have children.
Hocus pocus, distraction with the left hand. Where are the details? And yes, women's behavior changes during pregnancy. And as a manager, someone who's in a position of leadership, you have to be sharp. Janice.
Here are 7 common emotions a woman may experience before and after her baby is born. Panic attacks, racing heart, palpitations, shortness of breath. Persistent, generalized worry, such as fears for the health or well-being of the baby. Obsessive or compulsive behaviors. Abrupt mood swings. Feeling constantly sad, low or crying for no obvious reason. Being nervous, on edge or panicky. Forgetfulness referred to as mommy brain or momnesia after giving birth.
The fact that these things are ignored says a lot about the agenda because feminism was implemented for a reason. It was never about equality. Never. This is about special treatment.
All of this adds to the gender pay gap. Is there a fatherhood penalty? The opposite. Men, in fact, are paid more after becoming fathers. Why? Because they're supposed to support their family.
Not only that, but they also work themselves up. Keyword, work. He's not staying at home. He's at work. The money is earned. The money is earned to support his family. That's the part that women also ignore when they speak that equality foolishness. Hypergamy. Women in general are not interested in dating down. We did a video about women complaining there were not enough financially eligible bachelors to date. You can't make this up. You complain about not making the same money as men just to turn around and say men don't make enough money. This is ridiculous. How in the blue hell am I supposed to take you seriously?
What about support for women? 66% of workplaces do not even offer any form of help for women fighting menopause symptoms. This forces them to miss work or take a career break. Again, this adds to the gender pay gap.
Oh my goodness. Again, special treatment for women is what you want. I have no problems with that. Just don't call it equality. All the data and statistics prove that women are not equal to men. This whole channel is full of evidence. How much proof do you need? If women want to compete on our level, we have to lower the bar. We have to change the environment, change the rules, and that's not equality. You want equal outcome. That's not the same. Our last video was about menopause, and you see what happens. It's the world's fault.
Also to the power imbalance. Why are women still scarcely represented in positions of power? Women represent only 26.1% of parliament seats in 156 countries. Only 22.6% of ministers are women. In 81 countries, there has never been a woman head of state. The World Economic Forum estimates that it will take more than 145 years to attain gender equality in politics.
The question that you have to ask yourself is, do women want these positions of power? We're not talking theory here, because position of power sounds pretty cool, right? But the embodiment of the position is something else. I love politics. I can talk politics all day. But would I want to be a mayor, a senator, or a minister? This is serious. It's not a game. And women in general are not interested in doing these things. And when a woman is interested, she will have to compete. She has to earn her spot.
You told any of this on Women's Day. Gender pay gap translates to social injustice. And I'll tell you why. One, it sets the wrong trend. It normalizes settling for less and villainizes women who ask for their rights.
If incomplete information is what you're going to present to make your case, we cannot take you seriously. Villainize, nah. See if you're able to make a video of the inequalities men have to endure. There are women out there that have tried. Check this out.
When I was making the Red Pill movie, I was interviewing men's rights activists, and they were telling me, if you tell the truth, you are going to be, you're going to be taken to the cleaners. Yeah, you are going to be attacked and smeared, and your reputation is going to be slandered. And I thought they were being overreacting to something. I didn't realize that it actually would happen, and it did end up happening. So I'm really shocked with how the film has been received, and it just goes to prove the points of what men's rights activists are saying.
That's why we started this channel. Not because we hate women. It's because men's voices need to be heard, and men need to be educated on the foolishness that's going on so they can protect themselves at all times. The channel is called Manosphere Highlights Daily. We highlight men's issues, female nature, and the effects of society on human behavior. We encourage you to become the best man that you can be. But if you want to know how to do push-ups, then you have to go to the push-ups channel. If you want to know about money, you have to go to the money channel. I've said it many times on this channel that I took my talents overseas. I had to look for content that could help me with that. So I watched a combination of channels: push-up channels, money channels, travel channels, language channels, and manosphere channels. Everything that I had to do to become the best version of myself. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You know why? Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
A 2007 study found that male employers are less likely to hire a woman who negotiates about salary. Such women are perceived as demanding, and this creates a toxic culture. HP conducted an internal survey. It found that women employees applied for a promotion only after they met 100% of the criteria. Men, on the other hand, applied for promotion when they met just 50% of the criteria.
She forgets to mention the M2 movement. Let's take a look at the headlines of some articles when the M2 movement exploded. In the M2 era, 60% of managers say they are scared of being alone with women at work. Men now avoid women at work. Another sign we are being punished by M2. The latest consequence of M2, not hiring women. Are men afraid to mentor women post M2? This is why we call women agents of chaos. You throw men under the bus with this witch hunt, and then you are surprised that these same men that you've been throwing under the bus don't want to work with you, don't want to hire you. A lot of men were falsely accused, lost their jobs, their businesses, their reputation, and women would walk free. No consequences for false accusations. Are you sure women want equality? This is exactly what we mean when we say protect yourself at all times. Because this system is not going to protect you. Personally, I also don't hire women anymore. I only hire them for gigs. One and done deals. And it all happens online because in the past, I've had so much drama with female employees. And when I worked for a boss, it was the female co-workers who always had the most problems. And there's a classic article about a women-only TV company. It's a must-read, a classic in the manosphere. Catfights over handbags and tears in the toilets. When this producer launched a women-only TV company, she thought she kissed goodbye to conflict. The things that are happening are just ridiculous, and women are aware of the drama that they bring to the workplace. Check this out.
Equality in the workplace is certainly an uphill battle for many women, so it may come as a surprise that more than 80% of women don't want to work for another woman.
This story about the women-only TV company has been told many times here in this space. But if you guys want us to make a video about it, let us know in the comment section.
Point number 2. Gender pay gap affects financial security. American bank BMO Harris conducted a study. It found that on average, men have twice as much stashed in emergency funds as women. Online tax filing firm TurboTax found over the course of their lifetimes, men save more than 3 times as much money as women do. A 2018 Federal Reserve analysis found single women have more debt, high credit card usage, and more past payment delinquencies than men. And you know what? None of this adds up. Because women work more than men. This might come as a surprise to most of you, but women complete more work on average than men do. Women are also assigned 55% of all the work, and I'm not making any of this up. I'm simply referring to analysis by a workplace software company called Hive.
55% of what work? How many hours? There are more women than men on this planet. She's going to talk about unpaid housework. We also did a video about that. According to the American Association of University Women, women hold roughly 2/3 of all student debts in the United States. And Tom Likas had an interesting show talking to a woman about women's spending habits. Check this out.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of insane. But by the way, it's not mostly women, quote unquote, mostly women. It's men too, okay?
Darling, let me tell you something.
They're electronics, you know.
I'm not saying there aren't men with credit problems and borrowing problems. There certainly are. But the thing is, women waste... First of all, women spend over 70% of all the money spent. That is why so many TV shows are aimed at women, because so much advertising is aimed at women.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with that.
So the majority of people doing this are women.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not. I can't really take. Not all women. That's all I can say.
When did I say all women? You brought the word all into it.
Well, when I hear most,
Most does not mean all. 51% is most. 100% is all. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I guess.
Everything comes down to the natural differences that men and women have. And she's going to highlight more of the things that were debunked a long time ago. Superficial information disregarding female nature. They claim that society manipulates girls to play with Barbie dolls. When fake news is used for information manipulation, truth is the answer. But when truth itself is used to manipulate minds and thoughts, creating trust is the solution.
Dear employers, here's your chance at redemption. Give women their right to equality and equal pay.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.